Aloha Youtube, StarOfANewProject here, and today I want to do something a little different. So if you want to take a seat with me, I'm going to be sitting down and we're going to have a nice conversation, so come along. So hello YouTube, now we're sitting down. Hopefully you are sitting down too, because I kind of wanted to talk about something that is kind of interesting to me. Over the last, 5 years of my life, I have been watching so much YouTube. I mean, I spend so much time just watching YouTube videos, favoriting, watching, liking. I can easily say I've watched easily over 2,000 YouTube videos, and there's something that inspires me about being on YouTube and watching these YouTubers. You know, I get inspired by most of what they're doing. There's this YouTuber that I've always been a huge fan of from when I first saw his video, and some of you may have seen it because they showed it in a class of mine in high school, by a guy named Sully Breaks, called Why I Love Education But Hate School. And I saw this video and it touched me, right? You know, it kind of connected with me on different levels. Sully is talking about in this video, that's his name, Sully, is how the school system is a little corrupted. You see, people think of school as an educational institution where you learn stuff and you get taught stuff and then you become, and then you follow some goal, or you want to go to college or whatever. Schools teach you that there is only one way to do something. And this is something that I also experienced in high school. You know, it was when you go to high school, you go to college. That was my school's main goal. And I went to an extremely awesome school. I mean, I went to a school that promoted creativity and all that. But there was still that one mentality: you go straight to college. That there is no other route. It is college or failure. And you didn't have to go to super college. It was just that you had to go to college. That was the school's concept. And when they told me this, you know, I went and I was told by my parents to look up colleges and universities. I looked up like 120 universities. That's a lot of universities, and it wasn't clicking. You know, I'm a pretty passionate person. You know, when it's something that I really like, I'm really passionate about it. And so it wasn't clicking. And here was the thing: I didn't know why. I didn't know why college wasn't clicking for me, and I thought that there was something wrong with me. I thought that I was obviously apathetic or something, right? I didn't care about my future, and that I was gonna fail. I thought I was gonna crash and burn. I was gonna completely fail. And it wasn't that I was dumb, because I had decent grades. I had decent SAT scores. It wasn't that I didn't actually care. It was just that I knew somewhere instinctively it wasn't what I wanted to do at the time. At the time, there's a difference. So my parents went to Colorado. They went on a trip to the Rocky Mountains. They didn't take me with them. I would have loved to have gone to the Rocky Mountains, alright? But they went to the Rocky Mountains and they met this man, and they were going on a horse ride, on a horseback ride for hours. And they met this man named James. So my parents, they got really close on this hike with James. You know, they were having it was a nice hike. It was it was a nice hike, and so they got pretty close with James. And they asked him a question. They asked him, you know, our son isn't really, college isn't clicking with him, and we want to know, what should we do? What should we do? What do you think? And James answered with the two following things. He said, where he can work for his tuition, which is there are colleges like that. College of the Ozarks was one that he mentioned because that's where he went, which is perfect for somebody who's a workaholic and likes to move and volunteer and do work. Or he can take a year off from before going to university and just go out and work with the Park Service or work with the Forest Service, whatever he likes, and just do that and just do it. My parents were inspired. So they came to me, and they came back from this trip, they sat me down and they told me, Tristan, here's what we heard. And then as soon as they said the second option, the first option was good, I looked into College of the Ozarks. But they told me, what if you take a year and just do work with the Park Service and you travel out of the state? And that's where it all changed. One man on a horse ride tells my parents some advice, and my life is completely changed, which is insane. And one man, it's like a candle lighting another candle, lighting another candle. What? Mathematics, crazy stuff. I was passionate, and here comes passion. If there's one thing that I want to emphasize in this video that may or may not go up on YouTube, is that passion is where you need to get it. And I know that you may think, well, how do I become passionate about something? It's not as hard as it sounds. Passion is a very intense word. When you think of it, passion is like, ooh, you're fired up and then you're all red-faced, and that's not what passion is. Because it can be like that. It manifests itself like that. And for me, it manifested as just energy, like whoosh, explosion of energy. But for passion is me wanting to do something. Passion is me watching thousands of YouTube videos because I want to be a YouTuber. Passion is a student who sits at a computer for hours making music, digital music. Passion is someone reading articles all day. Passion is someone reading books all the time just because they like to get more knowledge. Passion is the wanting, it is the urge to want to learn about something, to further increase your knowledge. Passion doesn't have to be going to save the world, or going to build a dam, or going to clean a river, or fly to the moon. Passion just has to manifest itself in your brain. And when you realize, man, I'm passionate about something, you go for it. And as I got older, I realized that my passion was public speech. And that is a very interesting passion to have. Talking to people. Ooh, you like to talk to people? Yes, I really do. I really do. I could talk to people every day for the rest of my life and I'd be happy. And that is what you need to realize. That is what you need to look into yourself and go, what is my passion? What makes me happy? What could I do for free the rest of my life? That is how I figured out what I wanted to do. I started volunteering. And here's where we get to the rest of my story. I know it's a little bit of a tangent, but here's where we get to the rest of my story. So, I said, yes, I'm going to take a year off and I'm going to go do this, or well, however long. At this point, it didn't really matter. And I decided, let me do this. So, it came to the middle of senior year and I was like, what do I do? Because this is, I mean, it's a big daunting task. How do you find stuff to do for a whole year, right? You know? So I looked at websites and I found one website, just two websites actually, that really got me. The Student Conservation Association.org, the SCA, and volunteer.gov. And they were awesome. I applied, I signed up my application for volunteer.gov. It was super easy. All you need to do is fill out this basic thing, send it out. So I applied to like 15 parks. I mean 15 parks, that's a lot of parks. I applied to 15 parks on the volunteer.gov, and I applied to the SCA. To do something with the SCA, because they're known for doing stuff like building trails and all that stuff. And so, I did it. Waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and I wanted answers, and I called all the parks that I applied to. I tried to get, you know, match a voice with a application, and I got into the SCA. That was my first success, right? You know, SCA was a 2-week position in Morristown, New Jersey, and I was pretty darn excited about that, right? Because I mean, Morristown. I didn't even know where that was. I was like, yeah, I'll go work there. So I got accepted there. It was 2 weeks. Before I got accepted there, and I mean, actually, right after I got accepted there, I got accepted at Harper's Ferry National Historic Park. Now, mind you, this is 1 out of 15 parks that accepted me, or 1 out of 15 parks that would like me to have me as a volunteer. And they took a risk because I was an 18-year-old, fresh out of high school, with very little life experience, and they accepted me. And they took me in. And I worked in Harper's Ferry, and I met so many amazing people. I mean, it was kind of ridiculous. And I was only an hour away from DC, so I visited DC. I posted all my stuff on Facebook. I did my thing, and it was the funnest experience. And I thought, man, I want to do this again. So I applied to another park. I applied to Stones River National Battlefield. And at this point, I knew that something just called me to that park. It was the name Stones River National Battlefield. It was in Tennessee. I didn't even know about Tennessee too much, except for my teacher, Mr. Privet, was from there. I applied. I called, and I was very confident. And right when I was applying, I saw another position. And here's where we get to where I am right now. At Hawai'i Volcanoes National Park. Now, if the name itself doesn't hold enough reputation, then I don't know. I mean, I just saw the name Hawai'i Volcanoes. What? I applied. I called. And within 2 days, I had my resume. I had everything in. And the boss told me, you know, the boss there said that we want to accept you. We don't know when, but we'll try to accept you. And then Stones River also accepted me. And Stones River decided to have me from December till February. And then, or the end of February. And then Hawaii, you know, through a lot of work, I mean, I had to wait a little while. Hawaii decided to have me through March through May. So I was in Stones River, and Stones River was awesome. I mean, my boss, Mr. McKay, Mr. Lewis were kings. I mean, they were just the masters of their field. And I thoroughly loved it. I thoroughly loved it. I mean, it was like I had a bike, I got to go everywhere. I mean, the park was small, but who cares? I was in a freaking national battlefield. And I got to learn about the Civil War and all that. And I was forced to read books, and it was this whole, it was pretty sweet, you know? And I got to go to Mammoth Cave. I got to go to these state parks. My boss really took care of me there. And then it was time to go. And I really, really missed it. This is, by the way, I was doing public speech in Stone River. I was talking to people all day. Talking to people all day. Remember, I would do that for free, and so I did. And then finally, it came time. And it kind of ended really quick. I didn't expect it to be that fast, you know. Boom, 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 and then you're at your next position. And it's kind of happening like this for this park as well. But now I am in Hawai'i Volcanoes. Hawaii is amazing. I mean, that's the only thing I can say. I am leading ranger hikes. I am doing what? I'm talking to like 200 people a day, leading hikes. I'm doing everything that I've always wanted to do at one park. But let's get away from me for a second. I really wanted to emphasize on something because people ask me, Tristan, how do you do it? What are you doing? And I always say the same thing. It's not hard. And I know that it may sound a little much, you know, it's not hard. We're talking about you have to apply, and it really isn't. When you get a passion, when you have some urge to do something, when you think that you have an urge, when you like go, hey, maybe I do like this, all you need to do is manifest that into something physical, right? All you need to do is go, hey, I would really like to fly an airplane. I would really like to swim for every day for the rest of my life. I would really like to work on editorials. I would really like to write a book. I would really like to play video games. I would really like to make computer games. When you figure out that's what you want to do, all you need to do is go on Google and type it in. That's all I did. Once I did that, everything else fell into place. So people may think it's that I'm super smart, or that I'm super driven, super something. There was nothing super about me. All that was different, the only thing I did different, was follow that voice. As Oprah Winfrey puts it, I saw it on a show where she was talking to someone, and she said that life throws you pebbles, right? You know pebbles. You know what a pebble is? A little rock throws you pebbles. And they hit you on the head, and these pebbles are kind of like advice, like, go play soccer, go do this, go do that. And as soon as you catch one of these pebbles, you're good. But if you don't catch a pebble, life's going to throw a boulder at your head. And you're going to figure out, man, I'm done. This is what I'm going to do. Today is that follow those pebbles, because the boulder kind of hurts, and the boulder might be a little too late. I mean, it's never too late to follow your dreams. But the boulder is going to be when you're going to, wow, I should have just found that. People kept telling me to be a lawyer, be a soccer player. So what I'm going to end this video with, type in, I like to do something, what next? And you type that in, and that's it. So thank you guys for watching my video. I really appreciate, this is a more heartfelt video. I've been wanting to do this. And I think that it's important for people to realize that there is not just one way. My school's motto was what box? Because there is no box. People say think outside the box. What box, my friend? There ain't none. And that's exactly what I did, and that's why I'm still happy right now. So thank you guys for watching my video, and I hope I helped you guys out today. And if you have any questions, just leave me a comment or contact me on my Facebook. So see you later. And I hope you follow your dreams.